In Camden Town, they saw themselves standing in their own hallway. In Brighton, the same face came to the same window every night. In Manchester, the cheapest room hid a basement that had been waiting for 40 years. Black eye staring through ceiling crack, wet handprint smearing across glass, pale doppelgangers smiling in hallway, floating head moving closer in darkness, hooded figure whispering, "It's your turn." Story 1. The Flat Above. A rainy night in Camden Town. The streets are empty, street lamps glowing faintly through the mist. A black cab drops Daniel and Emily outside a tall, old Victorian building. Emily, nervous chuckle. "Dan, this street feels so quiet." Daniel, "Perfect for work. And with the rent we got, it's basically a jackpot." They enter their new ground floor flat. Inside is clean but old, and the hallway carries a faint, damp, basement-like smell. At 11 p.m., Emily is in the kitchen making tea when she hears a faint chair scraping sound from above. Emily, "Dan, did you hear that?" Daniel, "Yeah, probably the cleaner upstairs." The next day, they casually ask Mrs. Turner about it. Mrs. Turner pauses awkwardly. "Upstairs? That flat's been empty for 3 months. Keys are with me." Emily's face drains of color. The following night, the sounds get louder. Deliberate footsteps, as if someone is coming down the stairs. Then, stopping suddenly, Emily leaves her phone recording overnight. In the morning, they play it back and hear a soft female voice whisper, "You're in my home," followed by a faint laugh directly into the mic. On the third night, a chunk of ceiling plaster falls. When Daniel shines a torch, he sees a faint splash of red in the corner. Climbing up on a ladder, he peers through a small hole and is met with a single eye staring back at him, completely black. It doesn't blink, just stares. While Daniel is at work, Emily hears a loud crash from upstairs. She checks their front door. It's slightly ajar, despite the building's main entrance being locked. Returning to the living room, she freezes. There's a dinner table set with half-eaten food and one chair gently rocking as if someone just stood up. The lights flicker. The table is gone. Only an oily stain remains on the carpet. Daniel decides to check the upstairs flat. Mrs. Turner reluctantly gives him the keys. "Mrs. Turner, don't stay too long, and whatever you see, don't say its name." Upstairs, dust covers everything except one spotless bedroom. In the bathroom, 2 toothbrushes. On the mirror, condensation spells, "We missed you." On the bedside table is a framed photo of Daniel and Emily. The photo is old, and their faces are slightly distorted. As they head downstairs, they hear wet footsteps behind them. Emily whispering, "Dan, someone's following us." At the flat door, a pale couple stands beside them. They look exactly like Daniel and Emily, except for pitch black eyes and unnatural smiles. Mrs. Turner appears calm. "Mrs. Turner, You're back? You both died in the upstairs flat 3 months ago. Daniel's phone falls. The screen shows CCTV live footage. Daniel and Emily sitting on the bed upstairs, laughing, while the ground floor flat is completely empty. Story 2, The Window Face. A storm rages outside. Waves crash violently against the rocks as the camera pans to a small cottage perched on the Brighton coast. Inside, Claire tucks Sophie into bed. Sophie, quietly, "Mum, he was at the window again." Claire, "Who?" "Maybe just the shadows, love." Claire turns to draw the curtains and freezes. Pressed right against the glass is a pale, stretched face, its black eyes staring straight at her. She yanks the curtains shut. The next morning, window before bad things happen. Claire forces a laugh and changes the subject. That night at 2:15 a.m., Sophie screams. Claire rushes to her room and finds a wet handprint smeared on the outside of the second floor window. No ladder, no balcony. Claire installs a small CCTV camera facing Sophie's window. The first night, at exactly 2:15 a.m., the footage glitches. One frozen frame shows a white face impossibly close to the lens. Black eyes, mouth slightly open. The next morning, Claire finds Sophie's sketchbook. Every page filled with drawings of the same face, always at a window. While Claire is at work, Sophie stays home. When Claire returns, Sophie is sitting by the window, pale. Sophie, "Mum, he said you're next." Claire's stomach knots. Desperate, Claire visits Mr. Jameson again. "Mr. Jameson, serious. It's not a person. It only comes for those about to die. I saw it with my wife. The next morning, she was gone." Another stormy night. The CCTV feed shows the face again at 2:15, except this time, it's inside the room. Claire runs to Sophie's room. It's empty. On the glass, written in condensation, "Tomorrow." The following night, Claire and Sophie stay in the living room. 2:15 a.m., the glass patio doors rattle violently. Outside on the cliffside, the pale figure stands smiling. A deafening bang. The glass shatters inward. The face drifts inside, no body attached, just an endless floating head closing in on them. Morning news report. Last night, a mother and daughter were found drowned in their Brighton home. Police found no signs of forced entry. The camera pans to the house's upstairs window, and the same pale face is there, silently watching the news crew. Story 3, The Room 6. Adam Lewis, 21, university student, new to Manchester. Mark Bennett, Adam's roommate, friendly but a bit secretive. Mr. Collins, hostel warden, strict and cold. A rainy afternoon in Manchester. The camera follows Adam as he drags his suitcase through a narrow street to the looming, dark-bricked hostel. At reception, Mr. Collins slides him a key. Mr. Collins, sternly, "Room 6, cheapest in the building. But make sure you lock the door at night." Adam frowns but says nothing. Room 6 is small, damp, with an old wooden wardrobe and a single bed in the corner. That night, at 2:45 a.m., Adam is half asleep when he hears a faint scratch from under the bed. He leans down with a torch. No one there, but a trail of muddy footprints leads from under the bed to the wardrobe. The next morning, Mark casually asks, "Mark, did you hear anything last night?" Room 6 has history. Here, that night, the wardrobe door creaks open on its own. Inside is an old mirror, but Adam's reflection isn't moving when he does. In the bathroom the following evening, steam fogs the mirror. As Adam showers, a wet handprint slowly appears, smearing into letters, "Don't stay." Adam confronts Mr. Collins. Mr. Collins' low voice. Room 6 has a basement under it, sealed for decades. Best to leave it alone. Ignoring the warning, Adam and Mark pry up the floorboards beneath the wardrobe. They find a trapdoor. They climb down into a freezing, stale-smelling basement. Melted candles, dark stains, and a chalk circle cover the floor. In the center, human bones. A dusty photo shows 10 hostel residents from 1983. One of them is Adam. Same face, same clothes. The lights flicker. Behind Adam, a hooded figure appears in the candlelight, whispering. The next morning, a new student arrives at reception.